Well, we're here today with our newest Arizona drag racing legend, somebody that a lot of people remember as the crazy guy in El Camino,
Yeah.
or the crazy guy in a Corvette, or just the crazy guy.
There
It's
we
Joe Faulkner, everybody. Joe, thanks for being here today. We've been wanting to get you with us here for quite some time now. How you doing? How's things
Doing
going
good,
for you?
doing good. Glad to be here. It's good to be back.
At your age, you're glad to be anywhere, right?
Yeah, that's right. Still kicking. You know, we have the old over the hill gang. We're not done yet, gang.
Yeah, we're starting to roll down the
Yeah,
hill, gang. Yeah.
so
I had somebody describe to me with point in our lives we're on the like if we're all golfers, we'd all be on the back nine.
Yeah,
We just don't
exactly.
know which hole we're on.
But-
we hope it's more like the
Yeah.
13th hole into the 18th
Yeah.
hole, right?
exactly.
So I've only known you for a bazillion years.
Yeah.
You've always been a car guy. You've always been
Oh yeah.
enjoyed cars and stuff. Where are you from originally?
We're from Phoenix originally. Yeah.
You're
Born here.
a native here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where'd you go to high school?
Went to high school at Alhambra High on the west side.
West Side.
Yeah, west side.
The,
You guys were all East Siders, you know. We didn't
Well,
associate
no.
with them, so.
Yeah, well, we tried not to go to the west side because you'd beat the heck out of us. So, yeah, we knew better than that.
Yeah.
You've been a car guy. When did you first? How did your car thing come about?
Oh, I always loved cars. I was just into it, you know, big time. When I was a kid, reading hot rod magazines and everything. But really put me over the edge. I used to shoot trap and skeet with my dad, and we were on a league, and I was, I don't know, maybe 14. And there was a gun club right across the street from Beeline Dragway. And we were over there, and it was the Winter Nationals going on across the street, and I was going nuts because, Dad, take me over there. Come on, we got to go over there. And we're not going to do that kind of stuff. And I couldn't even shoot that day. I was so excited to listen to the dragsters and everything else. And so that really got in my blood right then. So when I got my driver's license, on a Thursday afternoon. Saturday, I was at Beeline.
When's the first time you went?
First
down the
time I
track?
went. I didn't go down the track. I just went to spectate.
Right.
Yeah, I just
But
went to spectate.
you
But
took it
then
all
I was
in.
hooked, you know, so.
So how long did it take you till you went down the track?
Maybe a couple of years. I didn't really have I was going to the track and going with people, but I didn't have a car then, so.
What was your first car?
My very first car was a 55 Chevy pickup. I got that when I was 14. Saved all my money, bought that thing, couldn't even drive it. You know, working on it, I broke more stuff than I need to take this off, and I'd break it. And there was a wrecking yard out near Goodyear that had a whole bunch of these old phone trucks that were 55 Chevys. I'd call my dad, 'cause he worked out there, and I said, Dad, I broke this manifold. Would you stop with the wrecking yard and get another one? Why'd you take that off? Well, I don't know. I just took it off because I needed to paint it. That's it, you know. But had about 4 tools, you know, these big old wrenches. Didn't even have numbers on them. You just look at them. Okay, I guess this fits, you know. I remember when I first got a ratchet, I thought woo, this is great. I got a ratchet
Yeah,
now.
high speed technology.
Yeah. So it was fun. So I drove that for a couple of years. Then I bought this El Camino, and that's when it started. And started going to the track and running that. And I think I met you. We went over to the Goosick shop. Bob DeYoung and I, we were good friends. We went over to the Goosick shop, and here's this guy running around, running his mouth all the time. Who is that?
Who is
It's
that
Chris.
guy?
It's God, you know. But became good friends and everything. It was great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Tell us. So the El Camino was your first serious race car?
Yeah, really.
Tell us about where you got that car from. And
I think I bought that car. Gosh, I was in high school still. And it was actually on a car lot when we bought that thing, and it was already, somebody had traded it in. It was all jacked up, and so bought that thing and had a 427 in it, and cross ram, 2 4s on it, and the old B&M hydro in it.
what color was it?
Then it was orange, and so I ran that for a little.
We've seen several pictures of it in front of the
Yeah.
House of Speed on.
Oh yeah. So that's when I met the Lanes there at House of Speed and got in touch. You know, just hit it off with them, and so ran that like orange for a little bit, and then it finally I got to make this. I'm going to be a race car out of this thing. I got to do it seriously. So pulled the body off and went from there. Lowered it down. Still kept the axle in it, but I put a dropped axle. Got it down on the ground and different rear end, and so.
So that's what people remember that car because it was big and violent.
Yeah, it was a heavy parts breaking unit. So.
And you ran HRA and NHRA with it, or?
No, we just ran. It wouldn't fit anything in HRA.
Okay.
It really didn't. You know, we ran AHRA with it, and Bob and I became partners, and so we bought some parts from Chuck out of the old Corvette he had that they'd crashed. So we bought the crankshaft out of there and bought a set of cylinder heads from Spatelli, and I needed a block, so I went to Lou Grubb, bought a brand new block and set of rods and everything. You know, just ran the GM. It's basically an L88 motor, you know, with a good. They were ported heads back then that Spatelli had. We put that on there, and away we went. You know, so.
Had a good time with it.
Oh yeah, just
raced all over the Southwest with it.
Yeah, we did good. We had fun with it.
I keep hearing stories about trips to Green Valley.
Oh, that was a.
Spatelli
yeah.
says something about, why did you drive all the way out here for me to lose to me? Like, that's what he told me Saturday night. He said you got all the way out of Green Valley and you raced him one of the rounds.
I think it was. We went a few rounds at Green Valley. That was kind of funny. We got out there and it got rained out, so it got postponed. We stayed and we got back into rounds and first round we go up and made first round, come back, and the car was getting hot, so Bob grabs the water jug. I'll go get the water and cool it down, and comes back in, and so he comes back and got 2 jugs, and he said, you moved the car? I said, no, you missed a round while I was gone. I had to go ahead and make another round. He didn't even know. He said, what? No way. I said, yeah, we're still in it. You know, by then the thing is just, it's so hot, it's ridiculous. But,
it's percolating.
Yeah, I think we went 3 rounds before we finally got beat. And
so the Green Valley, Texas.
Yeah.
A lot of people over the years from Arizona went that.
Yeah, it was a good place
had a good
to
draw.
go.
It was a HRA track.
Yeah, it was a HRA track, and when we had kind of a funny story. We stayed in this hotel. All these racers were staying in the same hotel, and Don Gartledge was in the room next to us, and it was early in the morning, and I opened the door to go out, and these 2 Dobermans just about knocked the door down, come jumping in our room, running all over the bed. Where Bob and I were just like, whoa, what's going on? And it was Gartledge's 2 dogs, and he's calling them, and they get them out of there, but he didn't think you were going to get eaten, and they just ran around the room and took off. But it's kind of funny to open the door and the 2 dogs just bust in on you. But,
yeah.
But it was funny.
Today that happened. Somebody think they were a narcotic.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a good time though.
So the El Camino you raced at Tucson, you went to Orange County
Yeah,
with it?
we went to Orange County, and Orange County we went to one of the HRA races there, and we changed. We got put in a different class because of the suspension and everything on it. We ran this like a Formula 4 class, which is a lot of Corvettes and stuff in that. Well, we set the record in that class, and we were coming up for first round of class, and all these guys are in front of us, and they're going, who set the record? Somebody set the record. And we're just not saying a word. You know, here's just big old El Camino sitting behind all these guys. And then we went out and beat them all for class, so then they were all pissed because we were in that class. And anyway, I don't think we went like 2 rounds and we got beat, but we had a good time.
That was the good thing about AHRA, though. They'd find it. If you went to the races,
yeah,
they'd find a class. For
yeah, you had a car that went in the class, and then.
Yeah. How did you meet Bob DeYoung?
I met him. I think he came into House of Speed or something, and we were just hit it off, and we were just good friends, you know.
Where were you working?
Then I was working. I think I actually worked for House of Speed for a little while.
I believe you did.
Yeah, I was working there for a little bit, and I worked for National Car Rental at nights and going to school and working at National Car Rental at nights. That was a pain in the you know what. So, but
so Bob came in and
yeah, Bob came in and we decided. You know, I started building a thing, and he wanted to. He said, "Well, I want to be in on it." I said, "Well, let's do it together." So, I had the car just about done, and so we went in partners on it, and he bought some pieces, and I bought pieces. You know, we just put it all together, and away we went. So,
so how many years did you race that car?
Gosh, I don't know. I think the last time we really raced that car was about 76, 77.
It's a legendary car.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what. There's 2 cars here that people remember you from. Sat in really a white Corvette.
Yeah, white Corvette. Yeah, I ran Ed Bottom's car for a while.
Right.
It was actually the old Hudspeth Steel Camaro, and we ran that. As a matter of fact, we ran the first super gas race that Beeline had, they didn't, I don't think they even called it super gas then. And
Pro gas.
that car run, yeah, whatever. It ran right on that index, and so we won that very first race. But that car was pretty squirrely. It was, I think we went 990 is the fast that car. That's as fast that car needed to go. It was, you know, but it was fun. We ran that, and then I started getting in with Bill. He wanted.
So
I started with Bill Knobloch, yeah. He bought this Corvette out of Washington. It's a modified production car, and bought just the body. So
Turner?
Yeah, it's from
The Hobbit?
Tom
Turner.
Yeah, Tom Turner. So he bought that car. He bought that car, and I'd help him every night. We'd working on it, and got it together, and so we started running that thing. We had a lot of fun.
Full-blown NHRA?
Yeah, we went to Pomona. We didn't really have an entry. We just kind of gave them the car number, and they thought it was Turner, and we got an entry. So we went in and we won class.
That sounds like a Knobloch deal.
Yeah, and we won class, and then I think we broke a valve in that thing. So that was the end. We didn't run eliminations. We were done. So we went back and
Tell us about the car. The engine and stuff.
Well, we ran it in G gas, which was huge weight per cubic inch. So we ran a 275-inch motor in it. We started with a 292, but it was we had to put so much weight in the car for that. So we started, we figured we'll run a little smaller motor, got a little more efficient that way, not quite so much weight. But we did good with it. We got runner-up at Sports Nationals one year, and that was good. But
Bowling Green?
Yeah, Bowling Green. Yeah, we went to Bowling Green Sports Nationals, and that was a fiasco in itself. I mean, we broke the car right before, I think, after first round, I made the pass, rolled around, went to start it, and all hear just banging and crashing. The starter ring had come off the flywheel. So we pulled it back in the pits real quick, pulled the transmission and everything out, put a new flywheel in it. Well, when we were doing that, Bill jumped in and he went to grab the transmission, and he put his head into the switches and broke all the switches, the ignition switch, the fuel pump switch, everything off. Everything just broke. So we got it all in, so I just hot wired the ignition, hot wired the fuel pump, and we turned the main switch off. And I had the 2 wires for the starter. So when we get ready to start, I'd tell him, he'd turn the switch on the back, and under the dash, I'd start it up, and we'd go race. And we did that for 3 rounds all the way into the finals. So it was funny though. And it shut it off. Luckily, when you get to the top end, it just quit. Just about anyway. Yeah. So,
the car you did really well with.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that.
Yeah.
Straight comp limiter. It's a hard.
Yeah.
class.
Well, the reason we went to comp because they eliminated modified production, so we put a tube chassis in that car, and Bud Yancer and Tom Yancer, they worked on it, and we all worked on it every night. And we got it done just before Pomona. We didn't even take a test run. We went over to Pomona. First pass on the car was qualifying for comp, and it ran good. And we did pretty good with it.
So the days of modified production, it's really a modified production car when you bought it.
Yeah. And we pulled all, we basically just pulled the body off the frame and just used just the body and put a whole tube chassis under it.
Yeah, I know you're not a big follower on Facebook, but Mike Cook, our former resident while he was in the Air Force here, he still posts a lot of modified production pictures, and he's probably has one of the best libraries of pictures I've seen of all, and can identify who is who in modified production. Yeah. And it's just it's a shame that went away.
Yeah, well, we had fun. We liked running comp. That's when we ran. That's when a little 265 or 275-inch motor that ran really good. We set the we had at the time the weight brakes was E-altered. We were running that. We set the record. It held for a good year and a half or so. We had that record in that. And set it at Fremont. And
remember, there's a race at, I think it was a Beeline, or no, it wasn't Beeline. It would have been. It had to be Firebird. And we took the motor out of my dragster and put it in the Corvette just for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I remember the other end. You went from the 275, 265 to a 331.
Yeah.
It's and all of a sudden just pulled all the way down the track.
And this is great. This thing keeps on pulling. Where that little 265 or the 275-inch, it just run out and you're just screaming down there, but you were done. So. But we had some good times with that, and that was really before Firebird opened up. Everything was closed around here then, so we went over to Orange County, just Bill and I one time. We decided, well, we're going to go test the car. We're getting ready to go. I think we're going to do the Bakersfield meet. And so it was the week before. So we're going to go to Orange County. We're going to test the car and get it ready for Bakersfield. Well, that was a fiasco. It was just Bill and I. We went over there. We get to Orange County. First thing we do get ready to leave the starting line with the Corvette, and boom, it breaks an axle. So they come out with a floor jack to jack it up because the tire's sitting all crooked in the body. They jack it up, we roll it back, and the other side falls off too. It had broke both axles at the same time. And so we had another rear end with us in the trailer, so we just pulled it at the back of the staging lanes there, put the new axles in it, and got it back. So then we made a run, and right on top end, it had vibration and everything. It's just, oh my God. And we pulled it back around and said we had to pull the transmission out. So we pulled the transmission out, and the transmission was leaking. So it said, damn, something's wrong here. Pulled it, it was one of the Doug Nash 5-speeds, pulled it apart. It had a broken slider in it. Changed that, and I look in there, and the pilot bushing is gone in the back of the crankshaft. So we pull the clutch out, and one of the clutch fingers is down. So we said, well, we got to put a clutch in it. Don't have a pilot bearing, so I'll run to Bill's getting the rest of it cleaned up. So you get the thing called, I'll go get a pilot bearing. So I jump on the dually, I go to a parts store, I get the pilot bearing, I'm coming back, turning back into Orange County. Just as I turn into Orange County, I kind of step on the gas to get back real quick. Transmission goes out on the dually. So I roll over, I caught the ride back in, so we we had a little 3-wheeler to tow the Corvette out. So we pull the dually back around, pull it next to the trailer. And I said, man, the transmission's out of the dually. And I thought, well, I got a pilot bearing. Screw the truck. Let's get this thing going. So we put it all back together, ran it. The next run, I come around the corner on top end, and the brake pedal just goes to the floor on the thing as I'm on top end on the Corvette. So I made the turn at about 40 miles an hour, the last turn off, and it folded the tire off the bead. So we had a flat right rear. So we had to go get tires, go back, jack it up, get it back. Just the two of you. Just the two of us. So now it's getting dark. I said, we're done. Let's get it. We pad all this stuff up, get the trailer loaded. So there was a guy there that actually had a transmission. I said, we'll let you load the transmission. So Bill and I, we're the last ones to leave that track. So we jacked the dually up, changed the transmission and the dually in the pits. We had little 12-volt lights. We're underneath there. And we got it all changed, got it all fired up. The truck just barely started because we run the batteries down so far. So the guard was trying to get us out. We were the only ones there. So we pull out of the pits, we pull out of the Orange County there, and we start to go up. And if you got an old dually, it's got 2 tanks. Well, we ran out of fuel in the one tank, so I flipped over the other tank. I couldn't get it started quick enough. Then the batteries went dead. It's totally dark. Don't have any batteries at all. So crawl underneath the Corvette, pull the batteries out of the Corvette, drag it in, and put it in there. And we were going to the hotel, and we just said, you know what? Let's just go home. We're done. And that was it. That was it.
Just drove straight home.
Yeah, we went home. We had enough. It was a night to remember.
Did you make Bakersfield?
No, we didn't go to Bakersfield that year. So
Billy Knobloch, for people us that knew him, he was so driven with cars.
Oh yeah.
And he was like all he was put on this face of earth was to be a car guy, and their passion for it. I worked for him for a while. I learned a lot working for him. There was a discussion at the dinner this last Saturday night, and people were just trying to remember this guy's name. And I go,
yeah.
He was over there by, you talk about Performance Chevrolet products? He goes, oh yeah. And Billy Knobloch was the guy. He goes, oh, they go, oh yeah. He was the nicest guy. He sold a lot of parts.
Yeah.
But they said he was fair in his pricing.
Yeah.
And he knew where to get things. I learned who made products for other people. So when you didn't have to spend $500 on something, you could get it for $300 if you bought it from this company instead. And
yeah.
He did a lot of research like that. But we lost Bill many years ago. But
yeah.
He was somebody that should be remembered because in himself he was legendary. He was a big part as well as you of us going comp racing with the dragster. Mm-hmm. And for a while you ran Challenger. Was it Challenger?
Yeah, Challenger Machine.
Challenger Machine.
It's part of Bill's deal.
And did all the machine work for not only my customers at Performance Plus, but for the race car, and you're big on that. We got to go back to Indy one time.
Oh yeah,
Go racing.
That was fun.
And first round we started off, we were qualified quite highly, but nobody else got down the track, and we hurt a motor.
Yeah.
And we ended up being 60.
I don't know. We didn't make it.
61st out of 64 cars.
Yeah, something like that.
And lost to the guys from the brothers with the altered up in Denver. Can't remember their name.
I remember, but yeah. Well, we actually remember we had the extra motor out of the Corvette. It was like a 287-inch motor.
Yeah, that's all we had.
We took the 331 out and put this little motor in there. Well, we knew it. Well, we need that or just go home. So we tried it, and
But we raced Indy.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was my goal. It was one of my bucket list things.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys, you and Deb going along, and
yeah, that was a fun trip. We had a good time.
Tyler Krause and his wife came along with us, but it was a lot of fun times. But the dragster itself, we held a couple records with it, and
yeah, you did.
A lot of it was
did good.
you guys, Bud Pickens, excuse me, Bud Yancer, and Tom Yancer. That was a Yancer car in the early days. And
yeah, it was one of their first really dragsters, I believe.
We had, they moved to Flagstaff towards the end, so we had Johnny West finish a few details up on it, did a great job as well. And then we were down in Baton Rouge. You were down there racing, and I flew in, and I was talking about building this motor, and Bud had a short block, 331 short block, and we needed some heads, and Billy introduced me to he's run comp, and he's run pro stock. I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me right now, but he had a set of Brodex heads that were tilted heads before Brodex was doing them, and that was really, those heads were really trick. And
yeah, I don't remember who that was.
Glenn,
I'll
remember when
we're all done.
When I'm driving home, I'll remember the name.
Yeah.
But Billy gave me the right direction, and then good people like Maropos helped me a lot. But that tells the story about drag racing, is that people helping people. I don't think that I've ever heard somebody, probably all the videos we've done, we've had one guy said he really didn't care about the other people. He was there to win.
No,
and we're all there to win. But
yeah, I mean that's the way it was. Like when we were in Orange County that time, we broke the transmission of the truck. The guy we didn't even know him then. He just pitted next to us, saw we had a problem. He said, his name was Jeff Woods, and I think he lives over here now. And he said, hey, I got a transmission. And he's the one that told me, he said, you need to carry a transmission with you all the time, and this and this and this, so we put that transmission, went home, and that's why I went home. I took it out and mailed it back to him. And but after that, we kept our own transmission, an extra one.
So that was the big trailer that Billy bought, that you had the front with you were a star on National Dragster with the episode going to California.
Oh yeah. We got I don't know why, but California started enforcing everything, and we'd always gone by the scale there in Banning, and the one year we were actually just taking the car over to Danny's to get it painted.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And we didn't have motor or anything in the car, just in the trailer. And I went blown by that Banning truck stop, and about a mile later I get pulled over, and this cop jumps out and says, let me see your license and stuff. And I give him my license. You can hardly read it because I'd gone through the washer. And he says, well, you just earned yourself a $450 fine by going by the truck stop. And he says, follow me. And so we went back to the truck stop, or to the weigh station, and they started writing tickets on everything that, they couldn't read my driver's license, so I said I had not a Class A license, we didn't have a health card, I didn't have safety chains on the gooseneck, and I forget what else it was. And went underneath the trailer, they looked at everything and said, you can't move this thing until you put safety chains on it. And so I had a piece of chain in the trailer, and I wrapped it around the tongue, and I had a little eye had a 175-gallon gas tank in the back of my truck. Had a little eye welded on there when I built the tank, just to lock up stuff I had in the back of the truck. So I put the thing on the gas tank, and he said, okay, you can go.
So
we're
like, you're would have ripped the whole gas
yeah, I was thinking, oh, this is great, but yeah, that wasn't.
And that was you were the poster child for warning NHRA, warning everybody else that.
Yeah.
And over the years, and the problem with that is those rules vary from state to state.
Yeah, it is, and
and they've tried to there's no uniform rules.
No, you know, I was gun shy after that. And then next time I went over there, I don't know where we were. We weren't going through Banning, but I pulled into this same deal, a way station. He says, "Get that thing out of here." It's like, okay, you know.
Banning got. I mean, there were more people bypass Banning.
Yeah.
You know, I remember going by there and you know, towing when my race car trailer was taking some displays to a show in California. I went through Banning. I was like, I'm not going to stop. I remember. You know, one time, Bill Farr. His trailer told take my car to California.
Yeah, I was with him on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got, you know, they wanted to give him a hard time.
Yeah. He gave a hard time right back, though, if you had to know Bill Farr.
Yeah, Bill Farr, another great guy, that you know, legend that has left us, but you know, good people. So, tell us about your family.
Good family. We've got 2 kids, son and a daughter, and when we moved to Florida, my son was in middle school and played basketball and everything. Good basketball player. Could have gone on to college playing it, but he just really wasn't interested in playing basketball. So we'd been running quarter midgets with him since he was, gosh, I think we started when he was 5 with Mike and Abby and his sons, and we had such a good time doing that. Ran it till he was, I think he was about 13, 14 years old before we stopped racing quarter. He got so big, he just, you know, so.
He was a half midget all of a sudden.
Yeah, he was big, so.
What is his name?
His name's John, and now, so I started kind of doing some remodeling homes and stuff back there, and so he'd work with me, and now he started his own business, and I work with him. So he's my boss, and but it's good. He's doing really
That's
good.
what Joe Freeman had with his son. You know, Joe retired, and then his son flipped houses.
Yeah.
Joe went to work for.
Did he? Yeah.
He was doing that with his son.
Yeah.
And then your daughter.
She's they're 5 years apart, and she played basketball too. And actually, the schools that they both went to is a Christian school. After they both graduated, and a little later on in life, she came back and was coaching the varsity girls, and he came back and was coaching the varsity boys basketball. So that was pretty cool.
What's your daughter's name?
Jolene. And we have 2 granddaughters with her, and I have grandson with my son, and it's good. So it's 3 kids. 9, 5, and year and a half.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's great. They're great.
And there's somebody else that lives with you. What's her name?
Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, my wife, Deborah Faulkner.
And you've known her for
long time.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 47 years. 47 years. Yeah. This February 5th. Yeah, it's been good.
That girl needs to get a sainthood for putting up with you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, but it's been good, and Florida's a little different, but lots of racing there. So, you know, we're probably 25 minutes or so from Gainesville Raceway. So we, you know, go out there, and we go down to Daytona a lot. We do stuff.
Do you have a toy car still?
No, I don't. I'm actually building a little pickup right now, a hot rod, for just a street car thing. So,
okay.
Yeah, just getting started on it. So.
Just so you can go to get your man card back.
Yeah, go back to do some of the cruises or something like that, and we'd like to do one of the power tours one of these times. Maybe do that, but just a little '65 Chevy pickup. I've had it forever, and we find we're going to start doing it. So.
In 2006, I did a power tour that started in Orlando.
Yeah.
And then they were, you know, Gainesville and. The Georgia Motorsports Park, South Georgia, whatever it is, on up the coast. But that was pretty cool. It's the only time I've been to Gainesville myself, but it was pretty cool to see the place, and it's, you know, there is a lot going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the mountains and everything here, but you've got if you like the ocean and stuff, we're real close to either coast from where we're at. We're up in northern Gainesville, so that's pretty cool. And we've been going to some of the no prep races, you know, in North Carolina and different places, so that's been a lot of fun. It's like the old time, going back in the Mel Larson days, you know, the old Phoenix dragways, you know, that's a no prep track. Well, that's what we ran on every time.
Except for
they're running way faster.
The no prep tracks had better bite than the prep track at Phoenix Dragway did.
Yeah, really. And they don't have
Phoenix Dragway. You could race that.
And you don't have cows running across the track or anything like that. You know,
exactly.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Anybody else you want to remember along the way?
Got a lot of friends. You know, you meet so many people racing all around the country, and it's fun to you run into them every now and then, and kind of look, hey, I remember you. Oh yeah, you know. So it's pretty cool. We just, you know, we've had some really good memories and a lot of laughter. You know, just different things and different races, and it's been good. And I think we'd really like to maybe build a stalker or something and get back into it. You know, but a little ways down the road, do something like that.
Oh, you whatever you do, you do well. You have a great time with it.
Yeah, we do good. So with my son's business now, it's taking us all around the country doing stuff. Yeah, we do a lot of vault rooms and stuff like that, custom interiors of vault rooms and custom interiors on safes, and so we're actually doing. We just did a room here in Phoenix, or out in Queen Creek, and we're going to do another one in Paradise Valley here in about 2 months.
That's cool.
So we do that, and we've done them in, Hollywood area and Malibu. Actually, my son just delivered a custom safe we just did to Malibu last week, in the middle of all the fires. But the guy called and said, "No, my house is fine. Bring it on." So
you go to do the setup and stuff.
Yeah. Just the safes, my son usually goes out and does that. I do all the interiors of the safe.
Okay. So
he designs them all, and I build everything.
So, we talk about people along the way. Just remember, came to mind. You're racing you drove the car twice for me.
Yeah.
And we raced at Pomona.
And we broke it twice.
We twice.
We pulled a wrist pin through.
I only had 2 motors.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Oh.
and both of
Think
them.
about it.
Both of those things that pulled the wrist pin right through the pin boss. Both motors. Right as you lifted, boom. Oh man.
They're different, yeah. But
yeah. Same scenario each time.
Talk about good people.
Oh yeah.
We're in Pomona with the other one, and we're done. No, that was I didn't have any spare parts.
No.
So all I could afford one of each. That used to drive people crazy because Amos Beard ran C Dragster.
Yeah.
He couldn't understand the way I couldn't tell him dyno numbers because I didn't want to hurt. Didn't have a motor to put on a dyno.
Yeah, we didn't have a dyno.
No, we didn't have a dyno, but we broke the motor.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Moropoulos said, "I got a spare you can borrow."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he loaned us a motor to go racing with.
We went racing, and away we went.
And I said, "Bill, what happens if I break it?" He goes, "You'll pay for it."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe, don't break this motor.
Yeah.
Good people along the way. That's what what I love most about drag racing and racing in general, but drag racing for sure.
We loan parts so many times to different people for different things, whatever, and it's back and forth all the time.
You loan somebody, you'd be racing somebody next round, you still loan them a part.
Yeah, I mean, was it Kevin Roddy one time? He beat us second round and broke the car, and during that run, something broke. I don't remember what it was, and we were the ones over there working, helping him, trying to get ready for the next round.
Yeah.
And so it was good. And people are like that. 90% of the people were like that. And there's a few real, the other way, but 90% of the people just do anything you needed. That's the biggest thing about that sport that people don't realize.
Well, Joe, it's really good to see you, man. And it's just so many people here that you're definitely a legend, and you got a lot of good memories. You always treat everybody right. You took pride in what you did and what you still do, and that's a mark of a good person. And thank you so much for joining us. And
my pleasure to be here.
You're definitely an Arizona drag racing legend.
Oh, thank you.